Throughout our lives, death lingers quietly in the background. It's that one inevitability we can never escape, no matter who we are or where we come from. But the real question remains: what happens after we die? It's a mystery that has haunted philosophers, religious leaders, and seekers of truth for centuries. Every culture, every belief system, has its own version of what lies beyond death, but how do we know which one holds the truth? What if I told you there are ancient civilizations that knew the answers to this question, secrets about the afterlife that have been hidden, forgotten, or misunderstood over time? What if these answers were buried in ancient texts, or even locked away in symbols too profound for modern eyes to comprehend? Today, we are going to dive into that mystery. We are going to explore what happens after death, and the wisdom from ancient traditions that could change how we see life and death. Are you ready to uncover secrets that have been hidden for millennia? This isn't just about where we go after we die, but about understanding the very meaning of life itself. Let us embark on this journey together and see what truths await us. Since the dawn of civilization, humans have been obsessed with the question of what happens after death. From the ancient pyramids of Egypt to the Taoist teachings of China, from the Greek underworld to the Mayan afterlife, every culture has had its own answer to this profound question. And one thing is clear: death isn't the end. In almost every ancient tradition, death is seen not as an end, but as a transition into another state of being. Let us start with ancient Egypt. Their elaborate burial rituals and texts, like the Book of the Dead, were created to guide the soul through the afterlife. The Egyptians believed that after death, the soul had to pass through a series of trials to reach the Field of Reeds, a paradise where they could live in peace for eternity. It wasn't just a place, but a state of being, achieved only by those who lived according to the principles of order, truth, and justice. But Egypt wasn't the only culture to explore life after death. In China, ancient traditions speak of the Yellow Springs, a journey the soul must take after death, facing trials before entering the realm of the ancestors. In Greece, Plato wrote about the afterlife as a journey of the soul to find its way back to a divine source. The ancient Mayans also had a rich tradition of exploring death, with their gods of the underworld guiding souls through challenges to either a peaceful afterlife or a cycle of rebirth. In these cultures, death wasn't feared, it was a transition. It was a process, a journey, a new chapter in the soul's eternal existence. And this idea of death as a passage, not a finality, runs throughout most ancient wisdom traditions. But over time, these beliefs were buried. As civilizations fell, many of these ideas were suppressed or forgotten, often reinterpreted or misunderstood by later generations. The knowledge about life, death, and the afterlife became hidden in obscure texts or lost to history. And yet, the wisdom of these ancient cultures still whispers to us today, waiting for us to rediscover it. So, what happens after we die? To truly understand this, we need to shift our perspective on life and death. We often think of death as the end, but what if it's actually just another stage in our soul's journey? Let us start by understanding that the afterlife isn't a fixed place, it's a state of being. In many mystical traditions, death is seen as the soul's release from the physical body, but that doesn't mean the soul disappears. In fact, it enters a new realm, a different dimension of existence, one that isn't bound by the physical laws we know. Take ancient Egypt, for example. Their concept of the afterlife wasn't about simply reaching a heaven or hell. The Egyptians believed the soul must face trials and judgments to enter the Field of Reeds, a place of peace and eternal life. This process was about purification and evolution of the soul. It wasn't just about a destination, it was about the soul's readiness to ascend to a higher state of being. In the East, traditions like Buddhism and Taoism speak of life and death as part of an ongoing cycle. Buddhism's idea of reincarnation, where the soul is reborn based on past actions, is a prime example. Death isn't the end, it's part of an eternal cycle of learning, growth, and purification. The soul evolves through each life, eventually reaching a state of enlightenment or liberation, where it no longer needs to return to the physical world. Even Western mysticism, like the ideas of Plato and later thinkers, proposed that the soul is eternal. Plato believed the soul was always on a journey, and death simply marked the soul's liberation from the body. It moves on to a higher plane of existence, where it continues its evolution, eventually returning to the divine source. In all these traditions, the afterlife isn't a final destination, it's a continuation of the soul's journey. It's a process of transformation, one that depends on the state of the soul when it leaves the physical body. Death isn't an end, it's a passage. Now, as we dig deeper into this, it's important to challenge some common misconceptions. Many people still believe in a simple, black and white afterlife. You either go to heaven or hell, depending on how you lived your life. This idea, popularized by religions like Christianity and Islam, offers a clear, definitive answer, but the ancient wisdom paints a much more complex picture. Take the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, for example. In his dialogue Phaedo, he talked about the afterlife as more than just a final judgment. For Plato, death wasn't a one-time verdict, it was part of an ongoing process of soul evolution. The soul moves through different stages, and death is just a transition, one in which the soul either ascends or returns to the physical world to continue its journey. This idea of the afterlife as a continual process rather than a final decision is also found in Eastern philosophies like Buddhism and Taoism. In Buddhism, the concept of reincarnation doesn't end with death. The soul is reborn into another life based on its karma, its actions, thoughts, and intentions. This cycle of birth, death, and rebirth continues until the soul achieves enlightenment, at which point it breaks free from the cycle altogether. In Taoism, the focus isn't on the afterlife as a place to reach, but rather on achieving harmony with the universe. Death, in Taoist thought, is simply the transition into a different state of existence. The soul continues its journey, but it isn't bound to the physical world. Instead, it becomes one with the Tao, the ultimate source of life and energy. So why does this matter? Because it tells us that the afterlife isn't something to fear or avoid. It's part of a much larger journey of the soul. And understanding that, we can begin to live differently, more mindfully, more present in the moment, and with a deeper appreciation for the sacredness of life itself. One of the most crucial lessons here is that death isn't a punishment or a final judgment. It's a transition, a part of the soul's growth and evolution. The afterlife isn't about a fixed location like heaven or hell. It's about the soul's journey, its continual process of learning and transforming. And here's the paradox. While we can't fully comprehend what the afterlife might look like, these ancient teachings provide us with a framework. They remind us that life isn't about waiting for death to come, but about how we live in the present. How we learn. How we grow. How we evolve. So, how can we apply all of this ancient wisdom to our daily lives? How can we use these ideas about life, death, and the afterlife to make our lives richer, more meaningful, and more mindful? First, it's crucial to understand that life and death are not opposites. In many mystical traditions, life and death are seen as two sides of the same coin. Death isn't something to fear. It's a part of the journey, and understanding this can radically change how we approach our daily lives. When we realize that death is not an end, but a transformation, it helps us live more fully in the present. We stop worrying so much about the future, and instead focus on what we can do right now. How can we live authentically? How can we make each moment count? These questions become central to our lives when we understand that death is not something to escape, but something to embrace as part of the grand cycle of existence. One way to embrace this is through mindfulness and meditation. Ancient traditions like Buddhism, Taoism, and even Egyptian mysticism all emphasize the power of meditation as a tool to connect with our higher selves and the universe. Through meditation, we quiet the noise of our everyday lives and can tune into a deeper sense of being. This practice isn't just about calming the mind, it's about becoming aware of the interconnectedness of all things, understanding our place in the grand cycle of life, and aligning ourselves with the flow of the universe. Another practice that can help is reflecting on death itself. Sounds morbid? Not necessarily. This practice, often called memento mori, remember that you will die, is used in many ancient traditions to remind us of the fleeting nature of life. By regularly reflecting on the reality of our own mortality, we come to appreciate life more deeply. We realize how precious each moment is and how important it is to live with intention and purpose. This isn't about living in fear, it's about living with awareness. In many spiritual traditions, the soul's journey is seen as a process of purification. This means that the choices we make, the actions we take, and the way we treat others all matter. Our daily lives become a reflection of our inner state, and each decision is an opportunity for growth. By focusing on cultivating love, compassion, and wisdom, we not only improve ourselves, but also contribute positively to the world around us. So how can we avoid common pitfalls? One mistake people often make is trying to get too caught up in ideas of heaven and hell, or focusing too much on a specific image of the afterlife. We're so conditioned to think in terms of fixed destinations that we miss the bigger picture. The afterlife isn't about where you go, it's about the evolution of your soul. Your journey isn't just about reaching a final destination, it's about growing, learning, and purifying along the way. The key is to live with awareness, understanding that death is part of the cycle of life. By living with the knowledge that death isn't an end, but a continuation, we can make each moment of our lives more meaningful and spiritually fulfilling. So, after everything we've explored, the question still remains: where do we go when we die? We may never have a simple, clear-cut answer, but the ancient wisdom we've uncovered offers us something far more valuable: a deeper understanding of life, death, and the journey of the soul. The afterlife isn't a fixed place or a final destination, it's a continuation of the soul's journey, a transformation that is influenced by how we live and what we do in this life. As we go through life, we can start to live with a new perspective. Knowing that death is not the end, but a transition, helps us focus more on how we live today. It encourages us to appreciate each moment, to live with intention, and to be more mindful of the choices we make. And when we stop fearing death and start embracing it as a part of life's natural flow, we can truly begin to live more fully. I want to leave you with one final thought to ponder: if you knew that death wasn't the end, but rather part of an ongoing journey of growth and transformation, how would that change the way you live? What would you do differently? I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Let us continue this conversation and explore these profound mysteries together. And if you feel moved by this message, share it with others, so they can begin their own journey of discovery. Remember, the secrets of life and death may be hidden in plain sight, and it's in each of us to seek them out. The answers aren't somewhere out there, they are already inside us, waiting to be uncovered.